What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Discord.js tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're getting started on a global currency system. Now, like I always do in every single video, I'm just going to give my Discord server a quick shout out. This is a Discord server for the Discord.js coding community. So if you like coding Discord bots and you need help or want to help others, make sure to join this server. There's going to be a link down below. As well as go ahead and try out my bot in DJS bot. The bot helps you find information about the Discord.js docs. So also what I want to do is kind of lay out what's going to happen on these three videos. So there's going to be three videos on the currency system. In today's video, we're going to set up the global currency system. We're also going to do a bow command so people can check how much coins they have, and also do a beg command so they can beg for some coins. Tomorrow's video is going to be more about the admin commands, something like give this player 10,000 coins, and then also finish off our banking system. And the final video is more of the fun commands. We're going to be doing a coin flip command where people can actually choose between heads or tails. If they're correct, they're going to be able to double their coins. And then something like a dice roll. So that is it. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and open up our project. In last video, we created a models folder. Let's go ahead and create a new file inside of the models folder. And we're going to name this profile schema.js. And this is going to be our schema for our profiles. Let's go ahead and require mongoose. So const require, or let's actually name it. So mongoose equals require mongoose. And now let's go ahead and actually, I can't even see it. What am I even typing? This one, mongoose. Let's go and actually create a schema. So const profile schema equals new mongoose dot schema. Open this up with parentheses and in brackets, and let's design our schema. So the first thing is going to be the user ID, and this is going to be our identifier for this schema. So user ID is going to be, open this up with brackets, and it's going to be of a type string. So string. And what we also want to do is do require true, because we want to actually get the user ID every single time we use this schema. And also unique is going to be true because there's not going to be two people with the same user ID, as Discord does not allow that. The second thing is going to be the server ID, so we can identify where they are, where they're actually using the command. So type is of course going to be string, and require is also going to be true. However, it's not going to be unique because there's a lot of people in a lot of servers, so it's no reason to actually do unique. And then let's actually set up our currency system. So the first thing here is you can name it the currency name. So we're just going to name it coins. And in here, open this up with brackets. The type is going to be of number. And we also want to have a default, because let's say that a member joins your Discord server where your bot is in. The default of them when a profile is created is a certain amount of coins. So let's say when they join, they're going to have 1,000 coins in their wallet for them to play around with. You can have this as 0 or no default, but for this tutorial, we're going to have a default of 1,000 when a profile is created. Then the bank, and the bank is again going to be of type number, and we're not going to have any defaults for our bank. So we're just going to leave this empty. All right, so now let's go ahead and actually create our model. So const model equals mongoose.model. The model name is going to be, let's just do profile models, and then do a comma and pass in that profile schema we created. And then finally, let's just do the module.exports, and we're going to export that model we created. All right, but now we have to think, how are we going to create a profile for a member? Well, there's two actual ways. The first way is when a member joins a Discord server that your bot is in, we want to create a profile for them. However, let's say that your bot just got added on an established Discord server with a couple thousand members. Well, you don't want to kick every single member and make them join back to create a profile for them. So what we're going to do is when they type a command, a bot command, we're going to create a profile for them, or try to create a profile for them. So the first one is when a member joins. So let's go ahead and go into our events, into our guild, and create a new event called guild member add. So guild capital member capital add.js. In here, we want to require that profile schema that we just created. So const profile model equals require, and we want to require that profile schema.js. So two dots, let's go back into our main directory, go inside of the models folder, and require profile schema. Then let's just do the actual events. So module.exports, we're going to do this async, and we're going to get client, Discord, and member. Make sure you check your event handler for your parameters. Do the arrow function, and let's go ahead and continue. So let's create a profile for the user when they join the server. So let profile equals await profile model. So I'm going to copy this. Dot create. And then here, open this up with parentheses and then brackets. And let's actually go ahead and fill all of these things that we just set up. So this is basically the template. So the user ID is going to be, of course, message. Actually, this should be member. Yeah, member.id for the user ID of that person. And then the server ID is going to be member.guild.id. And then for our coins, I think we named it coins if I'm correct. Coins, we are just going to set it to 1,000. So when they join the server, they're automatically going to have 1,000 coins to play with. And the bank, we're going to set this to 0. They're not going to have anything in their bank. After this, let's escape this. And outside of our profile, we're just going to do profile.save. And actually, we should probably test this. So we have our schema, and then we have an event that's going to create a profile. So now I'm going to go ahead and run the bot and go ahead and try joining the Discord server right here with a new account. And you can see here in our Robo3D, sorry, I keep saying that, Robo3T, you're going to see that a collection is going to be created and the user is actually going to be added into our database. So let me go ahead and join it. Right here, join. There it is. I just joined right here. As you can see, I've been testing this with a lot of times. So going to Robo, and if you actually refresh our connection here, go into collections, and inside of profile models, just double click it. You can see that this is the member that just joined. If you go ahead and open this up, we got the user ID. So this is the ID of the user. We got the server ID, and you can also see that they have 1,000 coins available. And this is how you can pretty much check every single profile that has been created by going to collections, profile models, and every single time a member is going to join your Discord, a profile is going to be created for them with all of these fields. And you can go ahead and customize your profile schema as much as you want. If you're doing a leveling system, then you do something like XP, and that will be a number, and then a level, and that will be a string for the level name, and something like items. And actually, I can show you how my actual bot has its collection set up. So inside profile models for my official bot, let's go ahead and open this up. And this is how I currently have my schema. So I have bits, that's the name of my currency, the bank. I got the user ID, server ID. I have an array of cooldowns, an array of items. So you can see the item that this player has, which apparently I have a fishing pole. And you can go ahead and customize your schema as much as you want. We're going to be doing that later on for future tutorials, but I just wanted to show you how this works. So there it is. Our member is now in here. Now, we also want to do this in our message event. So once they type a message, we are going to check that a profile for them is already created. If a profile is not created, then create a profile so we don't have any errors with our commands. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. This video is kind of already getting long. So inside of our message.js, this is an event in our guild folder. Let's go ahead and import that profile schema that we created. So the same thing we did in our guild member add. Go ahead and copy this, and I'm just going to paste it here. And we also want to make this async. So up here in the module exports, let's just make this async like this. And then below our if statements, we want to create a variable called profile data. So let's profile data, and we're going to leave this empty. And below, create a try and catch. So we're going to catch if any errors occur. We're just going to go ahead and just console.log that error. All right, inside of our try and catch, we're going to actually set this profile data to something. So profile data equals await profile model dot find one, and in here open this up with parentheses and then brackets, and it's going to be user ID. It's going to be equal to message dot author dot ID. So what we're doing here is this profile data variable is actually holding the result of our model finding the profile of the user if there is one. So it's finding it, saying, hey, we're going to look for a user whose user ID is the message.author.id. So whoever just sent the message. However, if that does not exist, we are going to go ahead and create that profile for them. So if profile data does not exist, we're going to go ahead and do basically the same thing that we did here in our guild member ad. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and paste it in here, but we have to change some things. So instead of member.id, we want to do message.author.id. And then for our server, we want to do message.guild.id. And that actually should work. So I went ahead and deleted my my little database here. So I reset the profile models, and it should be in here. So I reset this. So our Alesh Games, the second account, doesn't have a profile anymore, but they're still in the server. So let's go ahead and actually check this. Go ahead and let's go here and let me type a command. So I'm just going to type clear, right? So I just typed the command with this account. If we go back in our database and we actually go ahead and reload this, and actually I probably have to run the bot first. I always forget to do that. Clear, no space dot. There it is. So now let me actually try doing this. So let's do clear one more time, right? The member's already in the server. They have already joined. It's going to say, hey, you're missing permissions. However, they type the command. If we check our database, boom, they are inside of our database when they type a command. And if they already had a profile, we're not creating another profile for them. That's just that simple. All right, now let's move to the beg command. All right, now I know I just said beg, but I feel like we should do the balance one first and then do the beg. So let's open up our project. Inside of our message, what we actually want to do is go ahead and pass this profile data that we're getting from this request into every single command, so we don't have to actually query our database often, since we're actually getting the profile data already here in our message event. So all the way down here where we're doing command.execute, we do a comma and pass in profile data. And then we can actually just get all the information from the user already without having to do it in every single command. All right, so now let's go ahead and create the command, which is going to be balance. So balance.js, we're going to do the typical module.exports. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste this information in. The name is going to be balance. The aliases is going to be bow or BL, and description, check the user balance. And in here in the execute, to make sure you pass in that profile data that we just got from our message event. So in here, the first thing we're going to do is you could send an embed, but we're just going to send a simple message. So let's go ahead and we can actually just go ahead and just do a message to channel.send and just send the bits and the bank of the user. So to test this, we're going to do a template literal, the tilde, the key next to 1. And in here, we're going to say your wallet balance or bal is, then do money sign brackets. And in here, we can do is profile data dot, and we did coins. So we're getting this profile data dot coins, just like that. And then we can do something like your bank bal is, then money sign brackets, and we're going to do profile data dot bank. And already, just like this, let me go ahead and run our bot one more time. Then I'm going to actually use this account. So let's create an account profile for this account. So if we actually just type a command, it's going to go ahead and actually create another profile. So this is us right here, and this is my other account. And now we can do bow. And let's say your wallet is 1,000 and your bank is 0, because we started with 1,000 coins. Now you can go ahead and actually create an embed if you like to. I just don't want to necessarily get that into detail in this tutorial, but you can create an embed. And actually I can show you how my bot does it. Let me run my bot to show you how you can possibly do this. So my official bot that I'm currently working on, I can do bow, and you can send an embed like this, saying, hey, this is how much you have in your wallet, and hey, this is how much you have in your bank. So you can go ahead and customize as much as you want, but basically to get the balance is just the wallet balance. It's just going to go ahead and just do profile data.coins, and to get the bank, it's just profile data that bank. And it's that simple to create a quick command that sends all of the balances of that player. All right, and the final thing is the quick beg command. So let's go ahead and create the command here in the commands, new file, beg.js. In here, we're gonna go ahead and paste just a little quick template, change the name to the file name, make sure it's the file name, so beg. We're not gonna have any aliases because beg is kind of just the simplest thing for beg. Permissions, leave that empty. Description, let's go ahead and just change that to something like beg for coins. All right, in here, we also want to make this execute async. So make sure you do async. And let's get a random number between 1 and 500. And whatever that number is the amount they're going to get for begging. So a lot of bots usually just have a random number. You could just simply give them like 1,000 coins every single time they beg. However, I feel like it's kind of unique if they get a random number every single time that they beg. So const random number, it's going to be equal to math.floor. Open this up, it's going to be equal to math.random, and then we're going to multiply math.random by 500, and we're going to add 1 at the end. You can change this right here. So let's say they beg, and it's going to get a random number between 1 and 10,000. Just go ahead and just add 10,000 here, but we're going to be doing between 1 and 500, and that's going to be the amount they're getting when they beg. All right, and the final thing we're going to be doing is actually getting the member that just sent this message, getting their data from the database. Now we do have this here, however, we want to add to the database. We want to find it and update, and the thing we want to update is coins. We want to update this every single time they beg. We want to update this value right here. And the way we do this is actually by requiring our schema one more time. So const profile model is equal to require. Let's require the profile schema one more time. So let's find it, 2 dots, and then we want to go into models and then into the profile schema. Then what we can do is create a variable called response. You don't have to create a variable response, but if you want to use the response later on inside of the beg command, then you can. So response is equal to await profile model dot find one and update down here. Open this up with parentheses and then brackets, and the profile that we want to find is the key identifier, which is the user ID. So user ID, and this is going to be message.author.id. So what's going to do is it's going to find the profile that the user ID is the user ID of whoever sent this message. So it's going to look through all of this, be like, okay, he wants to find one with that specific user ID. So let's say this account sent the message. It's going to go like, yep, that's not it. This is it. And then it's going to get all of this information for us. So it's going to match this. Then we're going to go ahead and do a comma right after the first brackets and open up with brackets one more time. And what we want to do is increase the coins by the random number. So we're going to do money sign inc for increasing, then do a colon, open it up with brackets one more time. And then we named it coins. So whatever you named your currency right here, coins, that's how I named it. We want to increase the coins by the random number. And finally, outside of our response, we actually want to send a message saying, hey, this is how much you've won for begging. So return message.channel.send. Go ahead and open this up with the backtick and then do money sign brackets. You can customize the message as much as you want. I'm just going to do message.author.username, then do a comma saying you begged and received this amount of coins, and the amount of coins they just received is the random number. So open this up with money sign brackets, random number. And that's pretty much it. That's the basic beg command. You could also edit this as much as you want, but I'm just showing you how to find and update something in your database. So this is how you do it here with the profile model that find one and update. We're gonna get the user by the user ID and increase coins by that random number. Let's go ahead and run our bot and let's see how this works. So inside here, let's do bow. It's gonna say I have 1,000 in my wallet and 0 in my bank, and I said banks for a reason. We can do something like bag. You begged and received 243. Now I'm gonna go ahead and actually edit this because this is kind of bothering me. Coins. So I'm just gonna do coins here quickly. Sorry about that. It's just gonna bother me. There we go. So actually, let me check my balance. I should have 1,243. There it is. I have 1,243. Let's go ahead and beg one more time. It's going to be a random number. So now I received 177 coins. Check our BAL one more time. And now we have 1,420. Now, there's no cooldown for it, but you guys can go ahead and actually add a cooldown. But as you can see, you can beg as much as you want. And you're going to receive a random number between 1 and 500 and increase it inside of the database. So let's check BAL. There we go. Now I have 2,442 coins. And if you go into your Bubble, reload it. Now check the user. And yep, you just now have 2,442 coins. So there you go. Now we have the BAL. We actually set up the whole entire main system with our schema. We added the balance command and we added a bag, a way for people to actually start earning coins. And that's that simple. So I'm going to leave most of the code in the description down below. And that's going to be it for this tutorial. These are currently all of my Patreons. Thank you so much for all the Patreons who support me. If you want to support me in Patreon, there's going to be a link down below. As well as go ahead and join my Discord server. I'm glad to help as much as I possibly can. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys later on my next video where we go ahead and do admin commands as well as finish off our banking system. So see you guys later on my next video. Peace.